Hello and welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast with me, Dave, as the host this week. It's your chance to sit back, get yourself comfortable as we bring you up to date on this week's football. And there's plenty to discuss as we talk news. We honour Wayne Rooney's retirement with a quiz. We review the weekend's Premier League football. And Josh asked me about a not so sensible bet that he needs to put on this, today's football, I think it is. Then finally, I'm going to send Josh our standard Wikifile picture for him to stare blankly at the Wikifile quiz. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel on YouTube and Spotify so you don't miss out at all. We're here every Sunday at 10 a.m, apart from this week and last week where it was 9:30 in the UK time. Even on those pesky international breaks, we'll still be going. Now, over to my wonderful co-host all the way in the UK, Josh Cool. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, sir. Wonderful. What a lovely adjective to use. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Dave. Yeah, pretty
I mean, the Spurs shirt's back on. We've had this discussion on, off, French shirt, on, off. Is it affecting the players in the game? Clearly it doesn't, but is it?
No, well, I didn't wear this midweek, so I did not wear this when Spurs conspired to draw against Fulham. But you know what? I need to stop thinking that it affects me. I need to stop thinking that I have any impact on the match and just need to support my side. Or maybe, actually, I've just realised this is last year's shirt. I should probably be investing in this. This is what it is.
Is that the problem?
Hey, this is what it is.
Is that the issue?
This shirt yet?
So there you go. So what does that mean? You'll buy the shirt and then you'll wear it, and then Tottenham will lose the cup final, and then you won't wear it ever again?
No, it'll mean I'll buy the shirt, and Spurs will just romp home to win the league, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Europa League, and it'll just be a wonderful season.
Well, I mean, let's touch on that then. So, how's the football been since you made the cup final? Happy?
Oh yeah, I mean, in 2 games since, I think it is, scored 8, conceded 1. That's pretty good, yeah. Is that what it was? I can't remember what we scored against Marine, but I don't think it was 8.
You take the Marine result aside.
All right, we'll take out them. Okay, what else has happened? We scored. We could have been 3-4 goals up against Fulham.
You could have been. Yeah, you could have been. So
instead, we were 1-0 up, and then they scored a lovely header in the 70-odd minute, and we drew 1-1. And then Spurs try and get going again, and it's just there's too many times this season where it's been rinse and repeat, where we've just gone. No, yeah, and Mourinho states that he's not telling his team to defend like that, but I don't know. He just like if he's not, you need to have more persuasion abilities then to tell them to actually attack. Then if they must be denying orders because they're defending really well in terms of or not attacking very well, I'd say.
And I think
wellish.
That's where it bugs me, because obviously it is Mourinho's tactics, because Tottenham's natural instinct will be whatever Pochettino originally had them training to do, which was go and attack and press and all of that, and like attacking, aggressive, Klopp rock and roll sort of football.
All you have to do is look up the lineup, and we're playing in a right wing kind of attacking role, Moussa Sissoko.
Yeah.
Now, I like the guy, and you know what? Do you ever think about this, Dave? So I think about the Spurs players, and I think, okay, he does a job. Who would be a replacement, like kind of like for like replacement? I often think this was like, say your side's kind of doing well. If you keep the same style of play and the same style of player, who would be the person you'd replace with? Say you've got this inverted left winger, it's really tricky, good attacking player. You go, well, I could upgrade to a Messi because they're a similar type of player. But do you ever think about that? And I go, well, if they were to sell them, who would you get? And it'd be a like-for-like replacement. So Mr. Sissoko, for example, is a jack of all trades, master of definitely not attacking. And so he's there. He plows a furrow. He gets into attacking position and then messes it up every single time, almost every single time. And so you think, why are you playing him in a game against Fulham, who are third from bottom? Why aren't you playing a Gareth Bale? He's used Bergwijn as a defensive winger. He's more attacking than Sissoko. I don't know. It's just a little bit just missed opportunities. I'd say we're still in with a good shout of whatever the league holds. We're still in the cup competitions, but it just feels like there's just that missed opportunity.
Well, the whole Gareth Bale thing is just bizarre. It's just so.
Mourinho, I think it was to Gareth Bale, but he was caught on audio training going, "Do you want to play here, or do you want to go back to Madrid and not play?" And that was him shouting at Gareth Bale in training.
Well, yeah, there you go.
But apparently, Gareth Bale seems like he's loving life. He's just like, The pressure's off. It's a weight of pressure at Real Madrid. The pressure's off. He's basically living a dream. Like if you ever had this like dream, if you were winning a lottery, you'd go and go. You know what, Tottenham? Maybe in my younger days when my body would actually maybe work. Would be Tottenham. If I pay you X million, can I just train with the club for a year, for a season, and just see how good I can get, and just train with the first team? I won't cause any problems.
I'd love to see that.
Just let me train with you. You never know. I maybe need to be on the bench at one point. I don't know.
I'm just thinking outside the box. I don't know. I might make
just
it.
Snowballing, just spitballing some ideas here. Maybe cup competition, bench coming up front with Harry Kane. I don't know. Just
I think.
But do you ever think about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back in the day, obviously, that's what I always used. Yeah. Like I'd just go and train with a professional club.
That basically feels what Gareth Bale's doing. He's kind of like, can I just be paid? He's getting paid. Can I just get paid where I really like being?
He's also adored by all the fans, and like, I just couldn't. I don't understand how he hasn't played more football. He must be still useful.
yeah, he will be. It's just the fact that like without being three attacking, Son's playing too well. Without being three attacking players on the pitch, and Mourinho can't quite stomach it. But right, that's it. Okay, so what? So we normally at this point discuss news. What are we going to talk about, Dave? What's happening in the news this week for you?
Well, a lot of it again features. There's not actually much news away from reviewing the games, in my opinion.
Okay, well I've got a few bits. If you want some, you want some bits and pieces. So FA Cup happened, which in hindsight, I think the FA Cup third round last weekend was one of the best, most enjoyable FA Cup third rounds I've experienced for a while. Really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it now. So I was like, I watched a fair bit. It was just there's a few good stories, like obviously Marine game and was it Chorley getting through. I think it was a good FA Cup third round in the kind of maybe it was just seemed good because everything else around it is so bleak. But we've had the fourth and fifth round draws. See Manchester United being drawn against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Spurs Wickham, which is a decent draw again, I suppose.
Close, isn't it? Close as well. It's only the other side of London, isn't it? Wickham.
Yeah, not too far. Yeah, it's another away draw. It's into quite like an away draw. Then we'd play Everton or I think Sheffield Wednesday. Then I think you'd play West Ham or Doncaster. So are you looking at the FA Cup this year for a bit of silverware, or do you think it's going to end abruptly in fourth round?
I think it could. Possibly. It could be the FA Cup on for Man United. It depends how. I was just weighing this up because obviously we're playing Liverpool today, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. Yeah. But would I rather beat Liverpool today and go 6 points clear, or have a guaranteed FA Cup win and win the silverware? It's tough.
Well, you're literally taking the win today or win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, surely it's win today or win the fourth round. Which one would you guarantee?
Well, if I was going to guarantee one of them, I'd guarantee winning the league game today. But that's why I think. But I think if it was guaranteeing winning the league or guaranteeing winning the FA Cup, winning the league game today or winning the FA Cup.
I mean, they're so disproportionate.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah, I know they are. But I'm still struggling to.
Really, even with that waiting, you're still struggling to.
Well, the FA Cup is Europa League, and I think we'll get that anyway. And I think.
All right.
Really, top of the league, man. Top of the league.
You are top of the league.
So, and. Yeah, we'll let the lesser teams fight for the FA Cup. Maybe like a Spurs, they need to win something.
I'm fighting for it. Yeah, go for it. I'll take it.
Okay,
so you're not fully on the FA Cup bandwagon. I get it. Okay, no. So what about some transfer news? We obviously had a few bits go through. I mean, United sold a player to Bayer Leverkusen this week. You see that?
Yeah, it was Fosu Mensah.
Fosu Mensah finally gets out.
Timmy Fosu Mensah, yeah. Didn't want to / don't think the club were very keen to give him a proper first team-esque contract. So cashed in. I think it was relatively cheap for the potential he's had, but he's just always suffered with injuries. He's a bit of a sort of Phil Jones, John O'Shea sort of. No one really knew, was he a right back, a centre back, a holding midfielder, a central midfielder.
That's probably because he was always quite athletic, wasn't he? So it probably is that maybe, I don't know, if you're a centre back but you're quite quick, you're going to get put to a full back, and then if you're decent on the ball and defender, you can get put into midfield as well. So if you have that kind of capacity to have that physical capacity, then you can get shifted around.
He seems like he might have had that thing as well where his physical attributes were so much better than his age group that he looked better than he was, sort of thing. Like he was bullying everyone in the air, he was tackling stronger, and then when he's done the step up, it's not really worked, and he's not. the physicalness hasn't got him through the game, sort of thing. And I think, maybe going to someone like Germany, where it's a little bit slower paced football. Not saying it's completely slower, but there will be games where Bayer Leverkusen are just dominating possession against some of the lower teams in the Bundesliga. Makes him a bit better to work on the technical attributes.
Okay.
I don't think he's done for a top level player. I think he's still got that potential in there. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, the other one I noticed, obviously, Sebastian Haller went to Ajax, scored, but we also have another failed Frankfurt signing returning to Frankfurt. So Jovic returning to Frankfurt on loan from Real Madrid, and they're paying like a fraction of his wages. I mean, Frankfurt are just loving life, really, aren't they? They just got a great deal there.
Yeah, and the thing that surprises me about that is that I'm really surprised no one else took a punt on a loan like that, to get a player who somewhere in there is a goal scorer, to get a loanee like that for a fraction of his wages. I'm really surprised no one else, unless they did and he picked Frankfurt. Obviously, we don't know.
I imagine there would be a certain part of him after a really bleak 18 months would be like, please, can I just go somewhere where I feel comfortable?
Yeah. He's one of those players, again, I'd like to see him fulfill his potential. I think it was his attitude, wasn't it, at Madrid, that was why he didn't get picked. I think he's had a bit of issue in the press.
He did something silly with was it COVID break rules on international duty or something like that?
Yeah.
He just kind of he did some silly stuff. Yeah, but it's always, you never see players kind of not fulfill their potential, which brings me on to Mesut Ozil. It seems like it's all now destined to be Fenerbahce.
Waiting for his payout, isn't he? He's waiting for the mutual termination. Yeah. So it'll be an interesting one. It looks like Fenerbahce. It looked like it was going to be DC United for a bit of time in the MLS, and I think they were going to pay him more, but he's picked Fenerbahce for a higher level of football and moving back to Turkey.
I was just thinking with the why they might terminate his contract. I don't know whether in accounting world, whether when you terminate a contract it become an exceptional item and therefore be kind of not within your main P&L. It's kind of so maybe they would like to kind of exceptionalise that cost because it's basically a redundancy cost.
Yeah.
And rather than to keep his wages on there, which would be within the P&L. Don't know. That's just made me thinking out loud in accountancy.
Redundancy termination sort of costs. Do you get tax breaks on them? Do you have to pay tax as a company on that sort of?
I think so. You do. Yeah. But you don't have to report it it wouldn't be in your kind of reported profit. It would be below the line in terms of exceptionalised item.
There you go. Accountancy with Josh Cole.
Yes. Chelsea, their longest serving player has finally left the club.
Yeah, Lucas Payson.
Yeah.
I remember his penalty miss when he came on, and I read it on the BBC when it said they did the article about him moving on, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember him coming on and purposefully taking that penalty, and it was a shocker. It was shocking against Fulham, I think it was, when they were like 4-0 up or something.
Yeah, well, I think, and he had a stint at Fulham as well, didn't he?
And he went to Fulham on loan, yeah, and did well. He got promoted with Fulham, and then wasn't given a chance to go back once they got promoted because the league loan rules changed for Premier League players.
Okay.
And Fulham, I think, had already agreed 2 loans from Premier League clubs when they got promoted. Cavaliero from Wolves.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think, and there was would have been someone else. And
is that when they got promoted the year before last? Then.
Yeah.
Because they were a lone army there. They had Matt Target, was it? Or,
yeah.
Had a few players. Okay. The only other one I wanted to was Mr. Dembele, the Lyon former Fulham.
Oh yeah, the winger striker, Moussa Dembele.
Full-on striker now at Lyon. Gone to Atletico Madrid.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that one. That's snuck under the radar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Atletico terminated Diego Costa's contract, and so Dembele was playing with Suarez up top for Atletico. So it's just a loan with an option to buy. So. Yeah, a few little movements in the transfer window, nothing too much. But the kind of the main news this week was, Manchester United and England's top scorer of all time retiring, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, rolling up his sleeves and going full into management at Derby, isn't it? So
yeah. Do you reckon there'll be a time that we have in the Premier League, we have Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard in there as managers, all in the Premier League at one point?
I mean, potentially. If Lampard keeps getting scrappy 1-0 wins and keeps in a job and does all right, and Klopp leaves, Gerrard comes in to replace him at Liverpool and Derby get promoted under Rooney, then yes.
Well, that's in the way when you say that, it's just a dead cert, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Get your money on it. Yeah, so it's a dead cert, isn't it?
Who's
So...
going to ruin that? I'd say Lampard has a chance to ruin that.
Oh, I would say Lampard's the favourite to ruin it, yeah. Because I think Derby will give Rooney time.
He's the one in the league.
Yeah. I think that's right, yeah. So...
Okay. Well, I think at that point then, let's test your knowledge on Wayne Rooney.
We'll segue into the quiz.
Yeah. Ooh, la 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 la. It's quizzing time. So, this is a quiz, and it's a bit of a wordy one this time. So often it's kind of like you've got to name things, but this is I've written these questions, Dave.
Oh.
I've written these Wayne Rooney themed questions. So we have 10 questions on Wayne Rooney's career, and we'll run through them. Can Dave get his pass mark of? We still saying 50% pass mark?
Well, 50% is a C, isn't it? So it depends. The pass mark should probably change on what the topic is. So I would say probably a bit more.
So I think you need 60% in this because Wayne Rooney is he was a league goal scorer for your club and country you support. So
and he's one of those. He's a generational talent in our generation. So
yeah, you should know all about him. Okay, let's see what you know. Okay, number 1. Against which club did Rooney score his first Premier League goal?
Everton. Arsenal for Everton.
It was against Arsenal for Everton. Correct.
That is,
do you remember the goal?
Yeah, it was a turn and shot off the underside of the bar against David Seaman.
Yeah, whipped right foot, on the underside of the bar. Yeah, lovely.
Lovely goal.
Yeah,
remember the name Wayne Rooney? I think was actually the commentary.
Yes, I think you might remember.
I think it was by Martin Tyler.
Dave's just dropping knowledge bombs all over the place.
Damn right.
Okay. Which club did Rooney score a hat-trick against on his Manchester United debut?
Fenerbahce in the Champions League.
Fenerbahce in the Champions League. And now, I'd look at this match, and it does make it a little bit worse. Do you know can you name any of your midfield 4 that started in this match? One of them's good, 3 of them.
Midfield 3 that started in that game. A midfield 4.
Well, no, it's a flat 4, but one of them, the left winger is good, the central midfield and right winger are bad.
Nani, left wing?
No. You put him in a good bracket, are you? Okay.
I think he had his moments, yeah. Well, it depends who you're classing it, who's up against.
I'll let you know this. So, your midfield 4 lined up in this match, Ryan Giggs. Okay, good player. Yeah. Central midfield was the lesser spotted Eric Jemba and Cleberson.
Wow.
And right wing was David Bellion.
Wow.
How bad were Fenerbahce?
I know, yeah. Where did the service come from? Were all the assists from Giggs?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Okay. So that's another one, right? That's 2 out of 2 so far. What shirt number did Rooney wear when he joined Manchester United?
Number 10.
Incorrect. It was number... You want a second guess?
No, it wouldn't have been 10 because Van Nistelrooy was there. That was a stupid guess.
Yes.
18?
No, it was number 8.
Number 8. Oh.
Yeah. No. Okay. How many seasons did Rooney spend at Manchester United?
God. He was there for... oh my word. 11?
Do you know what I was just thinking? I'll give you one either side. So if you one either side, I'll give you the point.
Thank you. 11.
No, it's 13. So 12 and 14. 12, 13, 14. What do you do?
God damn it! I was toying with the fact. I was like, I know he's had a testimonial, so it was over 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, and he played. It was something like 9 as an out-and-out striker, and then after that he started dropping slowly. Like then played support striker and in behind in the hole, and then you started popping up in midfield, and I was like, he couldn't have done that for more than 2 years. So I plumped with 11. That's bloody hell, shocking.
There we go. Okay. All right. Question 5. What was the name of Rooney's TV show that aired on Sky One from 2008 to 2010?
It was something striker.
What a TV show, by the way. Rooney looks... He was just wearing like jeans throughout, is my memory.
My logic is just that it's Wayne Rooney star striker. That's what I'm going with. Superstar striker. No. I'm going with star striker. That was my first guess.
Wayne Rooney's Street Striker.
Oh, Street Striker. God damn
Remember
it.
that? I've got the image it burnt in my head. Is when there was like high-rise flats and they were dropping balls and he had to kick them into a skip. I think is what I remember it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Have any other footballers done TV shows?
No, they had the Football Idol, didn't they? That was a contract with Chelsea.
They did. I like that one. I remember there was that Scouse lad who was super skillful and tricky, but really didn't have much end product.
Yeah, and it was a centre midfielder that won it. Hutchinson, something. Sam Hutchinson.
Sam Hutchinson.
Yeah. I think it was Sam
Yeah.
Hutchinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only.
If you had some insert player's name here, Street Striker now, who do you reckon would get that gig?
Oh. In the Premier League or worldwide?
No, it's an English footballer.
An English footballer. Mikel Antonio, Street Striker. Like, well, it wouldn't be Harry Kane, would it? Because
if they'd go for I think in James Maddison and Mason Mount is who I think they'd probably line up for that gig.
Mason Mount, no chance. He's too posh. He's far too posh. And Maddison, I think. Like
yeah, James Maddison, suburb striker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, and it wouldn't be Harry Kane because he just wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be Jamie Vardy because he's too old. Jamie Vardy would just be like. Jamie Vardy's would be like, you've got to do the thing where you spin around the broom 10 times and then try and take a penalty. So,
yeah, because he penalties. Yeah. What about Jack Grealish? Jack Grealish, a street striker.
He's more of an assister, isn't he? He wouldn't be a goal scorer. He would. Jack Grealish is alley assists. I can't put. Yeah, I'm sticking with Mikel Antonio. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with my guns.
It's got to be someone. So
Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood
would be more fitting to be a street striker.
Marcus Rashford. Mason Greenwood.
Marcus Rashford. Yeah.
Marcus Rashford, street striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely. How do we not get that sooner?
Yeah, I think. He would do it.
He could line up tables to feed everybody.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
It'd be a great show. It would be a great show.
Okay. All right. So you didn't get that either, Dave. Unlucky. No. He's struggling at the moment. Okay. What major tournament was Rooney sent off for England for his stamp on? Yeah, bonus point here. Who did he stamp on?
Cristiano. He stamped on. He didn't stamp on Ronaldo. Ronaldo winked. Who did he stamp on? For some reason, Ricardo Carvalho came to my head, but that doesn't sound right because I think it was a midfielder that he stamped on. It was in Euro. Oh man, it was Euro. It was Euro. It was a Euro. It was definitely a Euro. It wasn't a World Cup. It was a Euro. It was definitely a Euro.
Definitely a Euro.
Oh, was it a World Cup? I hate you. I hate you and your quizzes. Oh. He stamped on. I don't know, but it was right in the nuts, wasn't it?
It was in the groin.
Right in the groin.
Yeah.
Boot in the groin.
Yeah, studs in the groin. I'm gonna have to hurry you.
Yeah, I know. I can't. My brain is having a brain. I'm gonna go Ricardo Carvalho, but it's not him.
It is Ricardo Carvalho.
Is it really?
It is.
You could have put me out of my misery earlier. Jesus.
No. I like seeing you flap.
I'm gonna go.
I'm not just gonna pluck answers from it in a monologue or out a monologue.
2012.
Way out, Dave. 2006.
2006, really?
Yeah.
Oh my word! He hadn't long played for England at that point.
Correct.
Wow.
So it's out of potential 11 now. So you're currently on 27%.
Oh
11.
no.
Okay. So against who did Rooney score his first England goal? And that was in a 2004 qualifier.
No, I've got literally Macedonia. I've got no idea. Is it? Come on.
Yes, it is. Well done, Dave. Plucked that one. I asked that because when I did it, I was doing some Wayne Rooney quizzes and research, and I got this as well. I was like, I don't know where that came from,
Yeah.
so I thought, oh, Dave might get this. All right. How many Premier League titles has Rooney won? I'm doing a bit of Jonathan Ross here. I keep wanting to say Wooney. Rooney.
So he's there for 13 years, did you say, or 12?
13 seasons,
13
correct?
seasons. 9.
God, look at all the success Man United fans have had. Can't even know their titles. 5 Premier League
Oh,
titles.
okay. Thought it won more than that.
Who was Wayne Rooney's most regular strike partner at United?
God. Van Nistelrooy wasn't there long.
Because he took his number 10 shirt.
Yeah. And then you've got... It depends. You've got Tevez, Berbatov. I wouldn't class Ronaldo as a striker. Are you classing Ronaldo as a striker?
Well, no, it's
okay.
not. It's not Rooney. It's not Ronaldo.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, this is so tough. Berbatov.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, final question. Wayne Rooney won the 2008 Champions League final, but what 3 players missed penalties in that shootout?
All the so it was as in John Terry.
John Terry was one.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's the other.
And Anelka.
Anelka, correct.
Yes.
That is 6 out of 11, 55%, Dave.
Yeah,
so
rounded up.
You failed.
Rounded up. So
Round it up. Yes. Okay. There was some dodgy patches, some good patches. But I would like your closing remarks on Wayne Rooney. What's your kind of standout memory of Wayne Rooney in a Manchester United shirt? What's your kind of and in an England shirt? What do you remember?
Standout Man United thing is the overhead kick against Man City, even if he shinned it. The athleticism to judge the deflection on the ball and change his body and put that in.
Not a tackle he made at left back. You don't remember any of those?
I mean, he ended Arsenal's unbeaten run, which was, he dived, didn't he, and won a penalty. So, which was great.
Sol Campbell.
Against Sol Campbell. I think I think he's one of those players that he'll only be appreciated by certain... I think there's a lot of people out there that will think there's no way Wayne Rooney should be England's top goal scorer and he shouldn't be Man United's top goal scorer. He didn't. But he was brilliant. He was absolutely phenomenal, and he is one of the greatest English players ever, and he's probably the greatest English it depends what you class as our generation, but I think from what we've had from someone burst on the scene to retiring, I would say he is up there with the likes of Steven Gerrard, who obviously we would have just about seen break into the Liverpool squad and then retire.
Yep.
So I think absolutely brilliant. England highlights, I mean, he basically qualified us for tournaments and then broke his foot. That's what I remember.
Yeah, do you know what I have a memory of? And it must have been one of his earlier games. I think it was played like maybe St Mary's, something against maybe a side in red, maybe Turkey. I mean, it must have been early on, maybe even his debut, but he got the ball in the kind of left midfield position, I just remember him kind of juggling it, running the ball on his knee, maybe juggling on his foot, and just driving through. And he was such a quick player. For someone you didn't expect to be that quick. His physical talent was just amazing. It was just,
I don't think his top speed was quick.
Well.
I think his acceleration was really good. I think his burst of pace, an instant turn, and he could hit a ball so hard. Oh, highlight, obviously, the goal against Newcastle as well.
Newcastle won, yeah.
Arguing with the ref 1 minute and then turns around, bangs it top bins. And then, I think it's just a great footballer. He had a bit of a bad side to him as well. Had a bad tackle and frustrated, and some off the pitch incidences as well. But I think as a footballer, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
We've just got a comment on the chat from Jim, who says Rooney's sending off prompted my exit from Josh's house.
It did, yeah. So I remember a number of us watching England Portugal in my house in my lounge, and and Jim was one of those people, and he decided to leave my house and walk back to his house, which is probably a couple of miles away. And during the match, he wasn't happy.
Brilliant.
I mean, he could see where it was going to go at that point.
Unbelievable. Jim with a bit of foresight. But I mean, and then Owen comes in and says, there's no better Wayne Rooney moment than when he stopped shouting at the referee just in time to hammer a shot into the Newcastle net. Peak Rooney. Yeah.
It was, and that just
So
the way he lashed goals. And do you know what? Just quickly, that the fitting end to his career, or one of the last real footballing moments I remember, is in the MLS where he chases a player back,
yeah,
tackles him, and then pings that ball for that last minute winner.
yeah.
That is just Wayne Rooney. That is just
Very good.
excellent.
So one quick question for you, and I guess the chat as well. Wayne Rooney, what shirt did you picture him in? How do you remember Wayne Rooney? What football shirt is he wearing? What football kit?
So it's that England. It's an England kit. Is that kind of that Euros England kit? I think.
The one that had the red cross up here
Yeah.
and the number in the middle. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Mine's
Yeah.
the red Vodafone. I think it's the one I've used on the thumbnail actually. Red Vodafone kit. It was a bit baggy on him. That's how I remember him. Yeah. That's how I
Yeah,
remember
he did
him.
like a baggy kit. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
to hide. If
So-
only he'd taken care of his body a little bit better. I don't know. Do you think that, or do you think no? We got with Wayne Rooney. He enjoyed life. He didn't go the Ronaldo route. He enjoyed what he enjoyed.
I think he enjoyed what he enjoyed. Yeah, I think he was never going to be a prolonged career to like muscle and really work on his fitness and stuff like that. I think he achieved so much, and I think he probably achieved more than what he ever set out that he thought he could achieve. You know, starting at Everton when Everton weren't brilliant. Yeah, I think he got more out of it than he would. And
Imagine
he
if
would
he'd
enjoy
moved to Newcastle when he was at Everton. There was a failed bid from Newcastle for 20 million. Then I think you signed him for 26 or something like that. It's like imagine if he'd gone to Newcastle.
Unbelievable, wouldn't it? Be different.
He'd had a
Totally
career
different.
like Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Jim does just say, we weren't going to win with 10, so what's the point in watching the rest? And Jim, you're a disgrace to football.
Philistine.
Yeah, Philistine. Exactly. Yeah, incredible. Lovely stuff. Lovely.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on to the review, shall we?
Yes, let's get into some reviews. Well, Josh, I'd say I'd hand over to you, but we've been sort of to and fro anyway, so give us the
Well,
derby
let's talk
name.
about let's Jodie and Lescott derby it up, shall we?
Oh, yeah. There seems to be a trend happening in our podcast, Josh, is that we will make the title thumbnail about something and then fortunes will reverse. So we had, is it Chelsea's year? Then Chelsea started to bottle it. Then we had, is Klopp cracking under pressure? Liverpool ended up top of the league after that weekend. Then we had one about Man United and signings and Ole, and then they've turned it around. And then we had Big Sam Little Effect, and Big Sam gets his first win as West Brom. So if anyone's...
Sam Big Effect. And I just want to just quickly mention a question I posed on Twitter during the week. Is Big Sam the heaviest manager in the Premier League? He's called Big Sam, but is he the heaviest manager in the Premier League? And I can't remember the Twitter handle of the person who commented. It was with a great shout. Bielsa might.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go Bruce.
Bruce is a good shout.
Because he loves a kebab,
yeah.
doesn't he? Stevie
Does
Bruce.
he? I've never
Yeah,
been
you've not seen the photo of him when he was manager of... who was he manager of? And he went, and there's photos of him in his full football trackie, where he would either come from training or straight after a match off the touchline or something, and he's in a kebabby. It's ridiculous. Yeah, or he's going to it. Yeah. But
but the thing is, Big Sam's big as well. Like he's 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tall lad. So yeah, just a question I pose: is Big Sam the biggest manager? And if not, if it's Bielsa, is it Massive Marcelo? I don't know. We need different names. But this is a match where
massive Marcelo. Oh, significant Steve.
Yeah.
Right, carry on.
We'll talk. This will have been formed the title of our podcast. Nuno Espirito SANT-GO. Should he go? Will he go? So Wolves are on joint bottom of the form table with
Newcastle. Steve Bruce's Newcastle.
What a place to be.
Yeah. So I'm just going to dive
significant Steve. Yeah.
straight in, because Shiv, who obviously does listen to our podcast quite a lot, was probably wondering when the day that a Wolves focused podcast would come, and it's here, and it's not a good one for him.
Yeah.
And he was in
all that good work you've done in the previous few seasons. Yeah. No, we'll briefly mention those.
Yeah.
But we will lay into you when things aren't going right. So
as soon as this was scheduled, hang on, because as soon as this video was scheduled, Shiv was there in the comments. He couldn't hold back. He was like, "It's early, but I need to rant off," and he's gone in straight away. We need Nuno gone. As a Wolves fan, he was like, we need Nuno gone. Rapid decline since the end of last season, where we were 5th, something like 6 points clear of Spurs. We still managed to bottle Europe. From the last available 27 points, they've picked up 5. And his problem is he loves a small squad, so we've got no depth, and that is what's killing us. Losing to that lot yesterday with absolutely no fight was the final straw. He has to go.
Well, yeah, he's stolen my thunder there. So I've written some stuff. I've got no win in the last 6, one in the last 9, no clean sheet in the last 12, 8 conceded in the last 3, 3 pens in the last 3 games. They're 14th, but only Brighton beneath them. All but Brighton beneath them have games in hand.
Yeah.
So it may go down to like 16th after that. Joint bottom of the form table, and their only goal scorer is out indefinitely. And for me, the squad management piece is it. Well, I've mentioned on previous podcasts how lucky they've been. They've had a settled side, and they haven't had to use the depth. And they're similar to Spurs. They have Jimenez up front, and lack of anything else. They got Fabio Silva now, and they brought Catrone back on loan from on loan. But you're just leaving yourself open to it, and obviously you don't ever want to see a bad injury like that. But they are at the mercy of it. The goal scoring, they're now relying on Pedro Neto, a 20-year-old kind of winger. Obviously, selling Jota, you didn't know it was going to happen with the Jimenez injury, but yeah, they're in a bad place at the moment. They previously have a very very reliable defence. I think some players just coming back from injury, like Bolly's just coming back, I think it is, and Dendonker's just coming back, but. Yeah, it's porous. It's not scoring goals. They're having to set up in a certain way. They normally play typically 5 at the back recently, but they can't do that because they want to get more attacking players forward to get more goals. But they're shipping more goals. It's one of those situations where I think Nuno's going to then start tinkering, and when you start doing that, it just gets a little bit. You get a bit lost up your own.
Do you put it down to Nuno though, or is it the club? Because it could be like the director of football. It could be the owner.
I put it down to you've tied yourself to Mendes, but you've fallen down the Mendes pecking order now, and you're getting these great players in the Championship. You're getting kind of Patricio was signed on the way up, and obviously Neves was signed, and Moutinho. It's like, okay, things are great now. They seem to have slipped down the Mendes pecking order, and now just getting overpriced teenagers and being the only club to take Semedo because no one else wanted to.
It's an interesting, Semedo is a really interesting one because obviously there was quite a lot of hype when he signed from Barcelona. I was excited to see him in the league and join, and I thought he could be a good replacement for Doherty, and it just hasn't worked. He looks not very good.
Defensively, defensively, their fullbacks are much. I mean, Doherty wasn't great defensively. I think the understanding of the role and what was required of him was there, and some players taking on to adapt. But yeah, Johnny and Doherty out and gone. They're a shadow of themselves at fullback, which were really important roles for them. And Jota out, Jimenez out. It's just I keep saying Jimenez out.
Jimenez. I mean, my thing with Semedo is that he just doesn't look very like he's got footballing intelligence. So it was. I watched the whole game. I watched the whole of West Brom Wolves, and it was something like the 91st minute. I think 4 or 5 minutes have been added on of injury time at the end of the game, and it went out for a throw. Hal Robson-Khan had booted it into the stands for a throw in the bottom right-hand corner in Wolves' half. So Semedo went over as the right wing back or right back at that time to take the throw, and then rather than taking a quick throw and getting on the game, sort of held the ball, cleaned the ball, dried the ball, and then went to Willy Bolly. Do you want to come and take this? And I was like, what are you doing? Lob it up the line. Get the game going. This is eating into your own time. And I don't, whether it was, not playing for the manager or, they know that the manager might be at risk or something like that. It was just bizarre to see that sort of thing. It's the sort of thing, a Sunday league, you're like, just get on with the game,
hasten up, yeah.
So it was, very, very strange to see. I mean, the game itself was probably Big Sam's wet dream, I think. I mean, all the goals from set pieces. Corner.
2 pens and a throw-in.
Long throw, penalties. It had everything. It was just unbelievable. Yeah. And
I mean, I don't know if anyone took my tip, but last week I said Semi Ajayi needs to be in your fantasy football team because he will be getting goals. He will probably be Big Sam's top goal scorer under this season. I'm going to put it there now. He will be their top goal scorer under Big Sam.
Oh, okay. Interesting shout. So Shiv is saying, we don't have a director of football. Our chairman, who openly admitted he knew nothing about football 3 years ago, is in charge of transfers / the money. We also haven't signed a centre-back since we were in the Championship. There you go.
To be fair, yeah. Yeah, I suppose,
So
but again, you look at it. I'm about to say, to be fair, they had some really settled players. Bolly and Cody have been very settled there, but yeah, it's just that forward planning. You think about that kind of squad, and I suppose there is only a certain amount of money to go around, and how much you don't want to be just getting players in for the sake of it. You want to be getting the right players, but it's just I think it's one of those things when an injury crisis happens, or you know players do have to move on at some point. It's just about keeping it fresh and keeping it and doing the best you can. But it's just I think again Wolves are on the lowest ebb. I'm not sure they all. I don't think they're in a relegation battle as yet. I don't know where our confidence in the club around Nuno. I could see if this carries on a little bit. I could see him being at risk for sure.
yeah, that was going to be my next question. Do you see him? Three options: staying, sacked, or walking. I mean, staying.
Yeah, I don't see it happening in the next kind of week or so.
No.
But if this is still going on into February, yeah,
Would another Premier League team take a punt on him?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done enough to earn a Premier League Premier League status for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but I just feel like I think he'd be a slow starting manager.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
he got that Wolves side up and running and ingrained. Like if you look at Adama Traore, it took ages to get into the style of football and
Yeah.
and shape that Nuno's side had. So I'm not sure he'll be a quick win manager. Or maybe if I was him, I'd want a summer pre-season transfer window. I wouldn't want to be joining someone mid-season.
Yeah. Okay. Shiv, be interested to get your thoughts in there as a Wolves fan in the chat as well to say, what is he going to be sacked? Is he going to stay?
Yeah, and if
I
you
know
say
you want him
Nuno
but-
out,
Yeah.
who's in?
Who's in? Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, we haven't talked much around the game, but set pieces done. Yeah,
All right,
next
let's
up.
talk about the Ben White derby, or also the derby where this is two teams who play nice football but don't really win much.
Yeah, very true, very true. We were talking off just before we started about how much we actually liked the Brighton goal.
Lovely goal.
It was a lovely little finish, and you said it was sort of Arsenal-esque back when just probably last couple of seasons of Wenger when they were putting all that really nice passing together. And the goal that came to mind when you said that was the Giroud Ramsey sort of 1-2 on the edge of the box. Mm-hmm. Ramsey tucks it home against Norwich. Sorry, Jim. And this, I said it reminded me of Man City because it was intricate passing down the wing, round the back, what we'd call a banana run from our hockey days, across the goal, open net for Mbappé to stick it in and
to leave Mopo with no option but to score.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, he could have missed. He could have missed. Give him a bit of credit.
He could have missed. Yeah. But Brighton finally get a win. And without their two best players, I'd say. So, I'd say up there. So Basuma was on the bench and Lamptey was injured. But I don't know. I just seem to be taking more notice of Brighton recently. I've become like previously they've been a side where you can go, would any of these players walk down the street? Would you notice them? Like, yeah. I would. And I'm getting there to a side where you think there's an 11 there. Well, haven't got the 11, but there's players who go, they're settled. So Lamptey right back, Ben White, Lewis Dunk, not Dan Burn, Basuma, even Trossard, and who is it? I can't remember the name of the guy. McAllister, yeah. They had a guy who come back on loan, a South African guy who played against City. Tao, is it? I think it was. And He's just come back. He looks
Pau, P-A-U, Pau.
Pau, yeah. Pau, right, Kisser.
Yeah.
He looked like a talent as well. But yeah, there's a few pieces of that jigsaw missing, and obviously maybe more pieces missing if people want a bit of Lamptey or Basuma in the summer. But there's elements there, even like Gross as well. I quite like. I just think there's something there.
I think it's more for me. I'm starting to take note of Brighton because it's the football. I think it was Chris Hughton did a great job, but it was a bit dire. It was a bit boring, but dull. And I think Graham Potter's actually got them playing football where they're not scoring a lot of goals, like you said, but you can step up and say, they're playing nice football. It's good to watch Brighton sort of thing, other than Dan Burn at left back, which they really need to sort out.
Yeah. So. I mean, they've got two of the I was thinking about other special team players in the Premier League. Like, what's the most obscure talents that some players have? Like, Dan Burn is an extraordinarily tall fullback / left side centre back. Lamptey is incredibly short, but it's more it's just kind of like more like extreme attributes of players. Like Lamptey is a very, very short right back. I mean, you put in probably Adama Traore is a very, very quick player. I mean, I don't know why, but is there any other talents that spring to mind that you got who haven't got the whole package, but they got like
Oh,
they got one attribute which is incredible. Like John Joe Shelby, maybe long range passing is absolutely out the world. Like he could
really
play good
bald.
side.
He's the baldest man in the Premier League.
Reminds me of Boba Fett. I don't know. Just
That's an interesting one, yeah. Standout attributes that no one else has here. Dan Burn just being really tall for a fullback as where he's being played.
He's got like attributes in the wrong places, like David Luiz. He's got all the attacking attributes, but none of the defensive ones. Like you can make a side here which has got really good skills. Be like, oh, if only you could.
What came to my mind there? Ospina being incredibly short for a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a Central American or South American trait. That does.
Yeah.
You think like they go, oh, Jorge Campos and Okoa.
Yeah. They're all relatively small. Yeah. So, his name was Percy Powell as well. So Percy Powell.
Oh, he's like in a kids' TV program.
What a
Percy
name.
Powell. He's a young kid who has superpowers and will bop you on the head. Pow.
Exactly.
Percy Powell.
Quickly about this game then. Leeds. Thoughts on Leeds? Are they going to be safe? Are they in a bit of a dwindle? Are they starting to get knackered?
They're just going to go swinging back and forth. The last 6 games, they've won 3, lost 3, scored 13, conceded 12. Unfortunately, it doesn't. They should have scored 12 in that time. They scored 1 too many, but they really are just going to go back and forth. They scored in none of their last 3 now. Is the Bamford goals dry up a bit? I mean, for me, they just they leave themselves a bit too open, obviously. But having Rodrigo in midfield it just makes the central midfield having to overrun. See, Calvin Phillips was out in this match and his suspension, but I think they just ask too much of certain positions. They to kind of unleash attacking potential. They kind of have slid the scale to mean that they leave themselves exposed. But my biggest comment on Leeds is what on earth is going on with your pitch? It is atrocious. It cuts up. It is so horrible. It's a Premier League pitch. Get that resurfaced. Come on.
Yeah.
Awful.
Josh has spoken. Listen to him. Doesn't like bad pitches.
I don't like bad pitches in the Premier League. No, you've got a certain quality to uphold, all right?
Yeah. Fair enough. And they play nice football, so it's not even like they're trying to stop other people playing football.
If you heard sort of Hawthorns, I'll be like, okay, I understand. Yeah. Big Sam's using the air. You want to make sure that air's nice and thin so the ball comes through it.
All right then. West Ham Burnley with Mikel Antonio's superstar street striker. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will give you one clue as to the derby for this match.
I'm going Lee Dixon.
No, I'm going jogging bottoms.
Goalkeeper. What's his name? I was going to say Galaxy, but that's the Hungarian. It's the.
Go on, Dave.
Oh.
Doing impromptu quiz.
What's his name? What's his name?
Gray for some reason. Well, I was making brown. Gray jogging bottoms.
He's bald as well, isn't he?
He should have probably shaved it all off. Yeah.
No, put me out my misery. It's not coming.
Gabor Kirai.
Gabor Kirai. Yeah. Also had a good stint at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. West Ham have got a new identity. They have definitely. This is a new. I think Antonio said it. This is a new West Ham. This is 3 1-0 wins in a row, 4 clean sheets in a row. They've already had as many clean sheets this season as they did last season.
Is it a new identity, or is it the identity that David Moyes was starting to build in his first stint?
Oh, absolutely no. But this is like he'd never imprinted that before. This is David Moyes' identity, which is new for West Ham because he didn't have a chance to. See it through.
Yeah.
But I mean, a shout out for me is Ogbonna. He's a very, very good centre back.
Yeah, agreed. He looks very, very good.
And he wasn't even in the plans really previously. It was all the talk was about Balbuena and Issa Diop, and he's just been an absolute solid as a rock. I mean, Antonio obviously coming back. All of his goals been scored within the in confinements of the penalty box, and let's go here. And it's a poor defending from Burnley.
I was going to say that it's a very un-Burnley-esque defending because both centre backs missed the ball in the air, and that's normally their bread and butter. So
I couldn't quite work out. I didn't see it. Did the first defender get a flick, which meant the second defender couldn't? It was too. If it didn't seem like enough to make that much of a difference. I think it was maybe the assumption that he was getting it. Yeah,
I think that was it. I think it was the assumption that he was getting it and he missed it. But Antonio reacted unbelievably quickly to just stick a foot out and put it in because there wasn't much distance between the centre-back who thought the second centre-back and Antonio.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely... I mean, I've seen Harry Kane do it. There's times where he's like and it's just you don't quite get it. It happens to the
Yeah.
best of them. But um, oh, what Burnley could do for a striker who could finish. We have got 9 goals scored after 17 games.
Oh, that's
Oh
dire.
God!
Yeah.
Imagine being a fan. Oh God, that would be horrific, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not good, and it's
Leicester scored 9 goals against Southampton in one match.
real off. Who's the strikers at Burnley? Chris Wood, Ashley
Wood,
Barnes,
Barnes,
Vidra,
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. That's it. Vidra and Rodriguez. Yeah, that's the 4. That's it.
You just got to be dropping. I mean, Wood and Barnes, you probably got to drop. I mean, if I say it was, I talk football manager because I've never managed a team, but they'd be getting dropped straight away. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
I think
goals.
Chris. I think I don't understand how Ashley Barnes is still. Chris Wood he does do a good job, but you can't have. You need someone different off him.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley Barnes would be the first to go. Ashley Barnes just kind of wins tactical fouls now. He's just a nuisance.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem the same. He had a hernia up a while back, and he just doesn't seem quite the same, really. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Like he just isn't. They're just not cut out of it. Like, I mean, they're getting a few goals at best this season. They're not going to be breaking goal scoring records. Woods has done all right, but Barnes is never going to be tearing up trees.
No. But they've got a new owner, I think, innit, who's pledged
I
money.
like it. You know what? I like it. I mean, I didn't read the full details of this, but there was something about they'll be using artificial intelligence to help with their transfer strategy over the coming months. But he seems quite engaged. I quite like a chief exec or owner being engaged with the fans, and he answered some stuff on Twitter. But yeah, I thought it was quite nice to see Burnley get some outside investment. So that'll be a one to watch.
Yeah, watch that space, I think, definitely. So,
Yeah.
all right, moving on to, well, the very close London derby, Fulham-Chelsea.
Yes, Scott Parker derby,
Yeah, very nice. What's the name of this derby?
West London derby.
Is it the West London derby? Well, because technically Chelsea is in Fulham. Chelsea Football Club is in Fulham. So is it just the Fulham derby?
Fulham match.
The Fulham match. Okay. Lampard hangs on again.
Oh my goodness! So a win's a win. It's good to get a win, but you're playing against 10 men for half a match, and the side's third from bottom.
Fulham with 10 men. Yeah, you're playing against Fulham with 10 men.
We've had a midweek match where they had to try their hardest to get a point from the Super Spurs. I mean, I've never called them Super Spurs in my life, but there was not. I mean, the shining light in this one is Mason Mount. Created a lot of chances. Very good. He's got a very good corner delivery on him. Very good corner delivery.
Yeah, he has. And he's again the opposite of Semedo. Mason Mount looks like an intelligent footballer in terms of when to pass, when to shoot, when to make runs, when to hold on to the ball. I like the look of Mason Mount. I never really got on the bandwagon, but I'm starting to see it a bit more now.
Yeah. Do you reckon he's Euros in the summer? Do you reckon he's in the side?
I think he should. It's just how you fit all those players in. If you think Grealish, Maddison, Mount, Rashford, Greenwood, you've got a lot of attacking people. Dele Alli, apparently. You've got a lot of attacking talent, and you can't take them all. So
yeah, I think it may be a case of if just quickly in England, I think if Southgate can find a winning formula, there's some attacking players that do some damage.
Yeah,
you don't want it, but the problem is you've got a weak defence, and it's going to be a difficult one. Oh my goodness, Timo Werner! I will just continue to hammer this guy because yes, he gets himself into good positions, but his confidence seems pretty low. It's like he's been cursed. That is such a poor attempt.
You're the stat man of the two of us. You love the stats and looking into that one. I'd like to know. You can do it offline later on Twitter or whatever. His XG to actual goals. That's always an interesting one for strikers.
Okay, if you're under overperforming,
yeah, to see if you're under overperforming. So I'll be.
I mean, the guy saved a goal on the goal line a few weeks back, so I'm pretty sure it's underperforming.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
I mean, it's just shades of Morata, Shevchenko, Higuain, Falcao, Kezman, Pato, Torres. I mean,
Lucas
at least
Pizon.
At least Kai Havertz has got the COVID excuse. He's got nothing.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I mean, Fulham. Are we feeling a bit more positive about Fulham now?
A little bit more. But they can't really. You can't. They've been drawing games or losing by a small margin. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to get a little run of wins, a few wins on the bounce, but. There's a few glimmers of hope. Mitrovic is he injured? I don't know in this match. I probably should know the answer to this, but it seems like they're missing a bit of goal threat. But
yeah, I think he's injured. I think he had a thigh. I think he had a thigh injury, and I think he could have played I think he might have been back on the bench for this game, but they didn't want to risk him. Let me just check the
I'll just quickly on the
Oh, no,
on
yeah,
the
just
red.
completely injured. Yeah, out injured.
Okay, so my favourite moment of this match was the speediness of a VAR check. So it's a deserved red card, there's no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
it's like the VAR was like, right, let's have a look. Oh my God, it's a red! Quick,
Yeah.
get him off.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to say on that, it was a definite red card. I'm not arguing that. Definite red card. But as Pilaqueta, I didn't picture him to be a roll on the round.
Oh, he is. He is a little runt of a man. That
Oh,
boy.
okay.
He is just. I don't like Azpilicueta. I think he's a good footballer and has been a great servant for Chelsea. But as an opposing fan, he is just a whingy. He's got a resting. I won't say a
Yeah.
bad word. But he's got a resting nasty face on him. He just Yeah. I don't like him.
In fact, Josh, I think we are technically, in all aspects, allowed to swear on this podcast because we're listed as explicit on Spotify and we're listed as not suitable for or not made for children on YouTube. So
I'm just thinking of live viewers. I know
yeah,
there may
that's
be
true.
kids in the background, so I don't really want to put out there. But yeah,
Very true.
it was a red card. I didn't like Mason Mount was squaring up to Anthony Robinson, and it's just kind of like it's like a fly. It was Anthony was like, "Get away! Stop it!" Yeah, and in situations like that, I know you get a bigger ban, but you just want Robinson to go and just sling Mount away.
Yeah.
Like, get.
But
But yeah, I mean it's tough on Fulham. Mate. It was always an uphill battle against the multi-million-pound bigger boys, but. Yeah, I don't think I can look back on it as too much. It's disappointing, but I don't think many people would expect them to win.
yeah,
But Lampard lives to fight another day.
yeah, very much so.
With
And
his,
rumours
youth
are that
players.
rumours that Abramovich is asking Avram Grant to come back as part of the backroom staff to support.
Oh my goodness, Avram Grant.
So rumours, it's not been announced
Has
yet.
he seen that graphic going around that Lampard's got the worst points per match of any manager, and Avram Grant's at the top? And he's
No.
like, oh, Avram Grant back, yeah.
Amazing, love that, love it. All right then, last one, Leicester Southampton.
Okay, the Kevin Phillips derby. Big win for Leicester. This is really good. Southampton obviously been on good form, but Leicester quite a controlled performance overall.
Yeah, I think it looked comfortable. They nullified Southampton's threats and took advantage of the ones that they got. A lovely finish from the aforementioned Maddison, who we spoke in the same sort of breadth as Mount. I would probably rate Mount just above Maddison, I think, in my rankings.
Would you?
Yeah, I think his all-round play is a bit better for Mason Mount. Like, everything he offers, I think is a bit better for Mason Mount. But a lovely finish from Maddison. It's one of those where you'd be like, the keeper should be disappointed he's beaten at his near post, but he hit it so hard in such a good angle.
So, yeah. I think Vardy could have obviously added a few more here. Vardy had a bit of an off day. He's now 34. You know, the time is coming, Leicester fans.
Yeah.
The time will come. All right, you can't.
When Iheanacho is going to lead your line.
Our man Iheanacho is not going to be able to do it forever, ever.
Yeah.
I tell you one guy who can't do it. Shane Long. Shane Long comes on for Southampton. He is so bad. So I had a little look at his stats. Okay. So in his Premier League career, he averages a goal every how many games in his Premier League career?
I don't rate him either, so I'm going to say 9. One every 9.
That would be epically bad. So this is a goal every 3.5 games he averages.
Okay, that's a lot better than I thought.
But over his past 4 seasons, about 100-ish games, that's dropped to a goal every 5.5 games. If you put it into contact, if he played every minute of every game at that run rate, he'd get you 7 goals a season.
That is awful.
That's awful, isn't it? That's a striker.
That is shocking, yeah. I'd be interested to see how many games he's played on the wings. Because he has been farmed.
He is the defensive forward, but isn't he the owner of the fastest ever Premier League goal?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to look at that.
I've got a feeling he might be. Yeah, it was also the Ledley King versus Bradford, but I'm feeling it is now Shane Long. I've got a horrible feeling it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Leicester obviously flying high, similar to last season. Do we think we'll see the second half collapse again?
I think I don't think we'll see as bad a collapse, but I think they will drop off slightly. I think everyone else might up their game a little bit going to the second half of the season. I think.
Yeah, I think it's been a season. There's been a bit of pre-season entwined with the first half of the season.
Yeah.
So sides are finding their pace, which obviously Leicester are one of those sides. So they're probably just getting fit now and getting ticking. But with Leicester, I suppose their players are coming back from injury. Like indeed, he's coming back from injury. Pereira's coming back from injury. Maybe they'll be a bit more of a force to be reckoned with. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it hinges for me. I mean, obviously this game they won without Vardy, but it does for me hinge on keeping. Well, there's a certain attacking players and you keep it.
Yeah.
Madison and Vardy. If they miss a stint,
A bit trouble,
tough
yeah.
for them. Tielemans obviously came in, got 2 assists for the first 2 of the season, but.
Yeah, and Harvey Barnes, the man with the weird hot patches on his neck. I talked about them last time.
Yes, you did.
Another
I
goal.
mean,
Is
another
Euro
goal.
squad? We've got a question in the chat. Harvey Barnes for the Euro squad, or do you think it's a
No,
little
Harvey
step
Barnes
too
has
far?
England B written all over him, does Harvey Barnes?
Does that still exist, England B?
He can form his own England B. He's not good enough for England.
No? Okay. Yeah.
I don't mind him as a player. He's all action. He's quick, goes around player, but he's got. I mean, Albrighton's got more end product than Albrighton. I'd say Albrighton has more chance of England. Not even more chance, but I'd say he's a better all-round player than Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
But
when it gets closer to the
because of his
Euros,
nose, he won't get called up.
when it gets close to the Euros, we can do our Euro ladder and compare our top floor of like 30 players.
Yeah, like the national pool on Football Manager. That's still a thing. And
Exactly,
what
yeah.
would you pick from? Yeah.
So, okay.
All right.
Interesting. Well, good. Good bit of reviews there. We are being pressed a little bit for time, but a bit of a chat very quickly then. Aston Villa, Everton postponed. COVID. You've got your Spurs shirt on, so give us a prediction. Away at the Bramall Lane, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United obviously grabbing their first win midweek, so we're now facing a different beast. They have got a glimmer of confidence, which is really annoying. I would say I look at a score draw or Spurs to nick a late win.
Okay.
I don't think it will be. Yeah, I think maybe because typically we've had come to a late draw for Spurs. I think we'll nick a late win like we did against West Brom in this.
Okay, all right. Liverpool United. This is the game that you wanted to chat about. Your not so sensible bet.
Yes. So quickly, what is your prediction on this? Being a Man United fan.
Score draw 1-1.
Yeah, I think so. So quickly on the nonsensible bet then. So on Sky Bet where I do my betting, I have a free £5 bet for this match. I like to put it on something. It's free money. I can be nonsensible with it. Just where should I put it, Dave? What should I put it? And also, do you have a hunch on anyone scoring? Do you have a hunch on something to happen, a penalty or something? What's your feeling?
It's around penalties. I think a penalty to be missed. I think United to win a penalty, Alisson to save it from Bruno.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look for the best market now. I'll go for if there is a Bruno penalty missed market. I'll take that, lap that up, and we can see how much I win.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
And then final match.
Yeah, finally, Man City Crystal Palace.
See you later, Crystal Palace.
You reckon it's a one-sided 3-4
Palace
win?
have done well against Man City, haven't they? They have beat them at Andros Townsend goal, and they came off the back of a draw away at Arsenal. I think City are starting to purr a little bit.
They are. They really are. I think I've predicted this as like a 3-0 Man City, maybe a 4-0 Man City. I can't see Crystal Palace doing much, and I can see it being quite an early goal and then heads dropping, and that's it. So
yeah, I don't know. After 7 o'clock on a Sunday, the Crystal Palace players will be like, "Oh, I just want to go back home." Yeah, wait, I don't want to be there.
Yeah, fair enough. Shane Long, 7.69 seconds is the fastest Premier League goal versus Watford. There you go, Josh.
There you go. I thought it was in. Yeah.
Right, so we'll end the reviews there and head over to the Wikifile. So I got a Wikifile for you. Hey, this week it's me to Josh. And well, if you see it, say it. And if you say it, see it. See it, say it. You know what to do.
So we start our career. No youth career. I've gone off here. Dave's
not on wikis.
Me up here. Okay, so started in 1990. 6 years at the formidable Bolton Wanderers, 202 appearances and 9 goals. We then make the move north of the border. We go up to Celtic for 5 years, 93 appearances, 3 goals. But we come back down to the northwest and 4 years at Everton, 124 appearances, 3 goals. Then move to the northeast, loves the north. One season at Sunderland, 10 appearances, 1 goal. We then head back to Everton, 45 appearances, 3 goals, and finish our career in 2008 with Derby County, 9 appearances, 0 goals. Okay, so what have we got to work with here? So we've got 20 goals in 483 appearances. We're talking defender kind of goal scoring stats or defensive midfielder.
Premier League stints, all of those teams, I'm not sure about Derby.
Okay, so we've got
Celtic,
Everton.
not.
Everton. It made his name Everton, really.
Yeah, we knew about him at Bolton. We knew of him at Bolton, but Everton. Everton. I mean, he's had 2 stints at Everton, so yeah. If you're going to remember him from everywhere, it will be Everton.
Okay.
There are some stats if you want them for international and, you can guess. What did you say for position?
I think he's kind of defensive midfielder.
Okay, what's your final answer? Give me an actual position on the pitch.
I'd say maybe a fullback.
No, incorrect.
What is he then, Dave?
He's a centre-back.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know why I said fullback, because the person who I've got in my head is a centre-back.
Do you want international stats?
Please.
1 cap for England B in '94.
Oh, England B making a second appearance of the episode. Lovely.
It's the only reason why I wanted to give you that option of having international stats, because we mentioned England B.
So an English centre-back played for Celtic for 5 years with 93 appearances. That should be easier to get.
And he's actually enjoyed Scotland by going back there after retiring to manage 2 clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although one of them he only lasted 3 months, which was St Mirren. But
it's not David Weir, is it?
It's not David Weir, no. Oh, I thought I thought this might confuse you. This one, I wasn't sure, but it's also a rare one where we don't have any loans in it as well.
No, it's pretty standard, and he really does not like the South. He must have a home up there, and he's like, I'm not moving.
So when he moved to Celtic from Bolton, he was their record signing ever at the time in '96, and he was Bolton's second biggest sale.
Really? Then,
funnily enough, Celtic and the player both got fined by FIFA for using unlicensed agents. There you go.
Did they?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of thinking, going through English centre backs, and I've played for any of these clubs. I'm really drawing a blank. So
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was Scottish.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Scottish.
Scottish.
I've got it. Alan Stubbs.
It's Alan Stubbs. Yeah, it's Alan Stubbs. Old Stubbsy to his mates.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known if there was a Bolton career, to be honest with you.
No? Oh, okay.
Everton's where I remember him. And yeah, I think he had a good long-range shot on him, I've got a feeling.
I just remember him being looked like a thug, but was actually very good in the tackle. He was actually a good tackler of the ball.
Yeah, he's a textbook defender, isn't he? Just hard as nails. Is what I put him down as.
There isn't really any personal news. Obviously, we dive into the personal side of the player that we pick as well. So I'm going to give you this stat. Stubbs won an England B cap on the 10th of May 1994 in a match against Northern Ireland B at Hillsborough. England won the match 4-2, and this shows the level of that England B squad. Stubbs came on at half-time as a substitute to replace Chris Bart Williams.
Oh my goodness.
Chris
Bart Williams. Man alive.
Yeah, so it was very interesting actually. Stubbs was interviewed to be Everton manager and lost out to Roberto Martinez, which left him. He left the club and went to manage Hibs, where he had a stint as Hibs manager. Left them, appointed manager of Rotherham, left Rotherham, St Mirren. 3 months into that job, said no thanks and just left. So
it's not the greatest managerial career he's had.
No, his win percentage at Rotherham was 7.1%. Yeah, they got off to a great start at Hibs, 58%.
Okay.
Win percentage, yeah. But yeah, so Alan Stubbs, ladies and gentlemen.
Alan Stubbs, thank you very much, Dave.
Alan Stubbs, yeah, not a bad one. I thought I'd chuck that in the mix.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. It left me thinking for a while, but I got it in the end. So yeah. Perfectly happy with that one.
And it links it into Wayne Rooney, because I thought of Alan Stubbs because he gave Wayne Rooney a very good testimonial, description on the BBC website, saying what a pleasure it was for him to come through the youth team and play with him and see him grow. So yeah, there we go. Have you got any other business, Josh? Because that brings us to the end. No,
I think it's a nice day of football today. We're both our sides playing today. Should be a good weekend. Hopefully it's good for both of us.
Yeah, I hope so too. 6 points clear at the top of the league would be wonderful. But that does bring an end to this week's podcast. So thank you so much for listening. If you've been with us live on YouTube, thank you all for your questions and comments. There's been plenty of them. Shiv, sorry if you've been depressed by all the Wolves chat today. If you want to get hold of us before next week's show, you can find us on Twitter at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
There's no A in football. So see you next week, and goodbye.